let's have at it.
All right. So, hi everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. So, to kick things off, Anguilla, most people asked where is it when we announced where we were going last year. So if you still haven't had the opportunity to take a look at a map, it is just east of Puerto Rico and right above St. Martin. During the time of our program, it is going to be
This is
an hour ahead of us.
the video.
So everyone back home on the East Coast will be an hour behind.
Can you get
All
it
of
on
your
here?
electronics should update automatically.
This is for you watching the
But to be
presentation.
sure, just make sure you adjust your watches
Sarah.
once you land. I'm
We ask them, if you're gonna be talking in the background, if you could just mute your microphone so that the other people can hear Sarah talking, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I have the capability to mute quickly, but yeah, if you know it's gonna, thank you. Okay, so with the electronics, once they update, the plugs there are gonna be our standard plugs, so you don't need to bring any type of converter with you. So all of your chargers for computers, cell phones, as well as hair tools, everything will work at the Four Seasons. There is resort-wide Wi-Fi, but if you would like your phone to work when we're not in a Wi-Fi area, you're going to make sure that you contact your provider, you get an international plan, and then once the plane lands either in St. Martin or Anguilla, you turn on the international roaming. This will just make sure you have service everywhere on the island. There is one service provider down there, it's Digicel, so if you do have to look for it, be on the lookout for that. Luckily, Anguilla is one of the safest islands down in the Caribbean. It's a really great place to travel because of that. As far as when you're heading out at night, there aren't really any areas you should not go to. You're welcome to go everywhere. Just be mindful that there is only one paved road and very few street lights. So it can be pretty dark. We're going to encourage you to not walk to any of the restaurants on the main road. You can absolutely walk on the beach if it's close enough. But if you're going to be heading a little further, you're going to want to utilize taxis or drivers, just because, again, not very well lit. It is a very accommodating island to all U.S. travelers. The primary language while we're down there is going to be English, and the U.S. dollar is going to be accepted everywhere. Most off-property restaurants, you will find that the menu prices are in U.S. dollars, and there is most likely, not guaranteed, a 15% gratuity already included in your final bill, regardless of the size of your party. Both of these things, again, should be noted at the bottom. With that, it is also customary to give the additional 5% to get to a 20% tip when we're dining off property. Continuing on for gratuities, DISCA is going to be providing gratuities for all of our hosted events and meals and activities off property. This will also include a $5 bellman gratuity during check-in, $5 bellman gratuity at checkout, and a daily $5 housekeeping gratuity for the official dates of the program. For anyone that is extending your stay, or if you think that, your housekeeper, your bellman went above and beyond for you, please feel free to give them any additional gratuity. It will be at your own expense, but it's always appreciated to let them know that they've done a really great job. As Mark asked at the start, the average temperature in Anguilla is between 76 and 82 degrees. Just really light natural fabric, something that's going to keep you cool during the day. Swimwear is perfectly fine at the beach and the pool. It is a casual island, so casual dress everywhere at the resort, off-property dining. I know in the past there have been some dress requirements at restaurants down in Anguilla. Long pants are not required anywhere that we're going to go. So if you're not comfortable in shorts, you can absolutely bring them. But if you are comfortable in shorts, feel free to leave the long pants at home. As we know, drinks can be quite expensive at these international resorts. The closest place on the island to pick up any beverages, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, and light snacks is going to be Best Buy. Although the store is very close to the Four Seasons, it's not going to be walkable because it's out back on that main road. So if you can grab a taxi or a car service to get over there, We also know that there's always the option to purchase at the duty-free shops. There is one in the arrival hall in St. Martin. And we're also checking on whether sort of the logistics of purchasing it at the departure hall before you leave to take off and bring with you. Since I touched on the airports, it is a good time to mention that 2017, both St. Martin and Anguilla were had some extreme damage done from Hurricane Irma. Both islands have been working very, very hard the past 6-7 years to try to rebuild and enhance what they lost. So some areas, the St. Martin airport in particular, was completely flattened. So they are still recovering. So just be aware that when you're passing through, some light renovations may be taking place. They do majority of them in the off season, but there might be some small projects happening as you're passing through. So just being aware of their surroundings in the airport. So getting to Anguilla, most of our group will be flying into the Princess Juliana International Airport in St. Martin. All of our travelers within our group did opt to take the full service transportation. So once you deplane in St. Martin, a representative from the destination management team will greet you. You'll be able to locate them. They'll have signage that has the DISCA logo on it. From there, they're going to take you to a special line inside the St. Martin Airport, which is going to be for a fast track for immigration. So this is typically where anyone with a St. Martin passport would go. This way we bypass any long lines since majority of the flights come in around the same time. From there, you'll be assisted with luggage and there'll be ground transportation over to the dock. So this is the airport down here in this picture on the left. You technically could walk it because of luggage and heat. We are going to have that ground transportation, but you'll be there very, very quickly. Once you're inside the ferry port, you will need to get your passport stamped again because you'll be exiting the country. From there, you're going to go on to either a private or semi-private boat charter and take off from the dock. Beverages will be available, so rum punch, some local beers and soft drinks will be on board, just to get an idea of where you're going to start and where you're going to end up. So down here, which is where the airport, you'll cross through here. There's a small channel that'll take you up to the southern part of Anguilla. It's not marked on this map, but right over here is where the Four Seasons is going to be. So this is the ferry port, this is the airport, and Four Seasons is over here at Meads Bay Beach. The boat ride itself is going to take about 25 minutes. You'll get some really nice views of St. Martin when you're coming through this area, and then driving up to Anguilla, really, really nice stuff to look at. Whether you're going to be on that boat charter or whether you flew directly into the Clayton J. Lloyd International Airport in Anguilla, there will be ground transportation organized for everyone. In this photo here, so this one you can see the Four Seasons a little bit better and see the pathway that you're going to take to get there. It's about a 15-minute drive from the docks, 20-minute drive from the airport. I do want to note that if you're arriving earlier than the designated program days or what we have listed in your welcome packet, the same service either from St. Martin or from the Anguilla Airport, that everything I just described will be available to you, and it'll all still be handled by that same destination management team. You'll either be on an SUV or a small cruiser bus, depending on the size of the group that's coming in on your flight. So after planes and boats, you'll be at the Four Seasons. So once you're at the resort, you're going to check in. This is the actual check-in desk. So you'll enter from over here. Check-in desk will be on your left. Standard hotel check-in is going to be listed as 3 p.m. We gave the hotel a list of everybody's flight times so they know exactly when you're arriving, and they're going to do their best to get the rooms ready so that as soon as your foot's in the door, they're able to expedite you and get you up to your room. But there is always the chance that there might be a wait for 1 or 2 rooms. So there is a restaurant. If you head right out this door here on the right, that's going to be your Sunset Lounge. You can grab lunch there, or if you want to feel comfortable to pack a bathing suit and some sandals in your bag, you can always go right to the pool or head right to one of the beaches. At check-in, you will be asked to present a photo ID. This can be your driver's license or your passport. This should be a good time to mention, please check your passports to make sure that they do not expire within the next 6 months. Some destinations and airlines will not let you board your flight if your passport expired within 6 months of your travel. So I would say just right after this call, maybe take a quick peek at that, make sure you're good to go. We have about 2 weeks, so expedited we might be able to get it in. In addition to your ID, you'll also need a major credit card. For those who extended, there will be a pending hold put on your credit card. If for any reason you need to change your credit card, just stop back down at the desk. They'll be able to switch it out for you. It'll just be a hold. Nothing will be charged until your departure. So any incidentals, any extra room nights will be placed on that credit card that you put in. You'll receive your room keys and you can head up to the room. These are going to be some photos of the interior of the guest room, and down here is just a floor plan so you can know what to expect once you get there. All rooms are going to have a sun deck with chase lounges on the balcony and sliding glass doors. There's Nespresso machines, a generously stocked mini bar, as well as in-room safes. The marble bathroom is going to feature a double sink, a soaking tub, as well as a walk-in shower. There's going to be a robe, a hair dryer, a scale, makeup mirror, and then it is fully stocked with toiletries as well. This year we did do a $250 resort credit for each room. So this really can be used for any of your meals that are going to be on your own at the property, including all the restaurants and bars, in-room dining, the spa, and there is a boutique on property for shopping as well as sundry items. So this is going to be your resort map. We can start to acclimate ourselves to the property itself. It's kind of split into 2 sections. Over here on the right side, you're going to have all of your residences. And then over here on the left is more the hotel portion. So this large red circle here is going to be where most of our guest rooms are located. It's centrally located to access all of the areas of the resort. This blue square here is the Alita pool area. This is going to be where our welcome reception is, our group breakfast on Monday morning, as well as our education sessions. And then the orange circle here is going to be the main lobby. It's where you're going to check in. It's also going to be where you're going to depart from for all activities, such as the Monday night dine around, the golfing, fishing, and the Tuesday night sunset cruise. The other area is going to be this Meads Bay Beach in the green rectangle. This is where our farewell reception is going to be. We do have access as a hotel guest to both beaches. So Meads Bay Beach, you'll access here. There's a small stairway, or you can head over to the Barnes Bay Beach as well. By being a guest at the hotel, you are entitled to all of the inclusions listed here. We are going to encourage you to really take your time to explore the whole resort, take advantage of the things that they're offering here. So the Sea Center is going to be for all your non-motorized water sports. That's right on Meads Bay Beach, weather permitting. You can take everything out complimentary. You also don't have to have a spa reservation booked in order to have access to the spa facilities. So there's a steam room, an infinity pool. Spa is located right next to the Alita pool. And if you walk out on the deck, it actually has one of the best views within the resort. In addition to the things listed here on the screen, there's also going to be a welcome drink provided upon your arrival. Outside of the gym in the morning, there's a complimentary beverage station. And frequently the Four Seasons will do special events or different classes that they'll host throughout the week. They don't announce them ahead of time, so be sure to check with the front desk when we're there, time that's free, just to see if they have anything unique happening that you would possibly be interested in. The welcome reception is going to be our first hosted event where everyone will come together to enjoy some cocktails and food around the Alita pool. The evening will kick off with an hour-long reception followed by a dinner buffet. There will be an open bar for the entirety of the event. And during this reception, Bill will provide an overview of the events that'll be happening and any important information or updates about the hosted activities will be told then. For anyone who was able to join us last year, we had a really nice time, the group breakfast that was on Monday morning. So we decided to have that happen again. So all attendees and their spouses or guests are welcome to join us on the Alita Terrace for a breakfast buffet. Unlike last year's sessions, both this year are going to be industry topics. Guests, spouses are absolutely welcome to come and stay for the presentations, but the content is primarily going to be for the members. So the first session is going to be presented by Chip Gardner. He's the CEO of Merino Ware. He's going to be talking on emerging trends in construction. He will address the evolving market segment and how modern technology can affect business. After a quick break, we will return and Mark Rosen will come to speak to us about preparing for new employment and labor legal requirements. He'll touch on a few different topics, but some of them will be the changes in minimum wage, the use of AI in employment decisions, and LLC disclosure requirements. We plan to wrap up the morning by 11 a.m. so everyone can enjoy their afternoon at leisure. Four Seasons is not an all-inclusive resort, so any drinks that you have by the pool or lunch that you'll have that afternoon is going to be at your own expense. Again, a great time to use that $250 room credit. As long as you charge those drinks or that lunch to your room, it'll count against that $250 credit. So on Monday evening, we're going to be heading out to some of the best restaurants in Anguilla. All 5 locations are covered, so nothing is going to be actually out on the beach, but they are all open air. So we're going to suggest maybe bringing a light sweater. It tends to be a little bit windy, a little bit breezy down there. So making sure that you're comfortable in case it is a little bit on the cold, chilly side at night. With the exception of Vea, which is going to be the restaurant over here on the right, everything is located on the beach. I'm happy to report that we were able to accommodate everybody's first choice from registration, so that was great. The restaurant assignments were listed in the welcome packet. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, I can absolutely share that at the end of the presentation so you can check out to see which one you were placed at if you don't remember which one you marked as the first choice. During the dinner, we will be covering the cost of any food and beverage, including alcoholic drinks during the dinner. Any drinks that you have before or after are going to be at your own expense. There will also be shuttle service provided between the Four Seasons and each of the restaurants. We were able to get reservations all at 7 o'clock. So everyone that's going to be dining at the 4 beach properties are going to meet at 6:30. Their shuttle is going to depart at 6:45. The group that's heading over to Vea, it's a little bit of a further drive, so we're going to have them meet at 6:15 and depart the hotel at 6:30. At the end of dinner, once everybody's done, we'll wrap up and transportation will bring you back to the Four Seasons. On Tuesday morning, DISCA will be hosting 2 activities this year, golf and fishing. For our golfers, there will be a shotgun start at 8:10. You're going to be heading to the Aurora International Golf Club. It's the only 18-hole golf course on Anguilla. And as of 7 days ago, it got bumped up from number 3 to number 2 of the best golf courses in the Caribbean. There's really great views. It's a 72-par course designed by Greg Norman. It spans over 7,000 yards. We will provide transportation to head over there. So leaving the hotel at 7:15, enough time to get warmed up and headed out. There are going to be clubs available for rental, but there will not be shoes. So if you're someone who likes to golf in golf shoes specifically, be sure to pack them and bring them with you. If you don't want to have them in your bag, sneakers are going to be permitted. So wearing shoes that you're comfortable in. For some assignments, we'll be out to the golfers specifically sometime next week. As for our group that's going to be going out fishing, their transportation is going to leave a little bit earlier at 6:45 a.m. to head over to Sandy Ground. They'll be out on the water from 7 to 11 on a privately chartered boat fishing for the native fish of Anguilla. shorts, swimwear, t-shirt, rash guard, all appropriate attire. It will be very hot and sunny, so being sure to have sunglasses, a hat, some extra sunscreen. We will provide towels and bottled water. For everyone else who chose to have a $200 resort credit at their activity, you can use this for any on-property or off-property resort as long as you can charge it to your room. So if you're looking to head off property, make contact with the hotel concierge. They'll be able to give you different tours and experiences that'll work well, whether it's in this morning time or on another free day. And just confirm with them that it can be charged to their guest room so it can count towards or against this $200. On Tuesday night, we will have a sunset cruise Tuesday evening. We'll be heading out on the water for those that enjoy boats. Everyone is welcome. Transportation will depart at 4 p.m. We'll go over to sandy ground again to get the catamaran. We'll be out on the water for 2 hours. So from 4:30 to 6:30, we will provide light hors d'oeuvres and some beverages. But for everyone, whether they were part of the sunset cruise or whether they decided to stay back, dinner will be on your own for this evening. So for those who are on the catamaran cruise, there are a handful of restaurants right at that sandy ground area. So there's Roy's Bayside Grill, Barrel Stay Beachfront Restaurant, and Sandbar. Sandbar is owned by the same people that own Vea, which is one of the places we're going to as the dine around. If you're looking to head back towards the Four Seasons, a few options is Savvy Beach Club, which is right next to the Four Seasons, or Sharky's, it's a local spot, or really anything on Meads Bay Beach. So maybe trying out another restaurant that was on the dine around list, but not necessarily somewhere that you were, not the place that you went to Monday. Unless you really liked it, then absolutely head on back. So Wednesday morning and afternoon, it's your time to really do whatever you would like. You can absolutely relax by one of the 3 pools. You can head off property. There are a few close by islands if you wanted to book a private boat charter and head over to one of them. This is really your time to relax, recharge, enjoy Anguilla, and then get ready for our farewell reception at Meads Bay Beach. The night's going to begin again at 6:30. We'll have a short cocktail reception before diving into a really decadent dinner buffet. This reception's designed for everyone to come together for just one last celebration on the final night that everyone will be there. Oh, I think I might be missing one of my slides, but on Thursday morning,
Got to talk about the checkout.
I was going to say, I'm missing the slide that goes up on the screen, but I have the information. So on Thursday morning, this is the saddest day of the trip. It's when everybody has to go back home, or a majority of our group will go back home. So standard hotel is going to be 12 noon. Before you do leave the resort, please be sure to check your final hotel bill for any incidentals or room charges. It's always easiest to check it and question them or have them removed prior to checking out, because once you check out, that card on file will be charged. Ground transportation, once again, it's been organized for all attendees. We will provide instructions for luggage pickup, shuttle departure times. Once we hear back from our destination management team, they're in the final steps of confirming all of those details. So once we have them, we'll be sure to communicate that to everybody. If you were someone that extended your trip, you're going to be departing later in the week. We've still arranged for the same ground transportation to the airport or back to the boat port. You'll do the same thing sort of in reverse on the way here. And once you're at your designated airport, it's time to head home, which is the memories of another great Disca trip. So with that, if anybody has any questions, feel free to either come off mute if you're muted and ask them. You can type them in the chat if that feels more comfortable for you. But really, any questions that you have, just let me know.
The boat trip, I have to pay for Karen. When do I pay for Karen? Do I mail Disca a check?
Yeah, I emailed an invoice. I can always I can shoot it over to you if you want, or you can, yeah, you can mail Jessica a check too. $200.
What's around for golf there? And do they have a golf range?
There's a putting green, and then I believe they have a simulator, like a trackman area to warm up, but I can
Okay.
confirm that. So
Joe,
they,
20246, Joe, 20246.
Is that your room number?
No. 20246 is no at New Jersey National.
Oh.
Thanks for the reminder, Ralph. Appreciate it.
so there is, so at the Aurora, so the Aurora is the only golf club in Anguilla. There's an 18-hole course, but then there's also a 9-hole course as well. So if you're there a little bit longer, or Wednesday morning you wanted to play a shorter round, there is a 9-hole course as well.
Hey, Joe, we're gonna get picked up at 7, we're gonna leave the hotel 7:15. We'll be there by 7:25. They'll have our carts ready. The rentals are we already know who wants clubs. We know you need lefties, except for your righty putter. So we'll make sure that everything's ready to go. And you'll have at least a half hour to hit some balls and chip and putt before we go out with the shotgun. Fortunately, they were able to accommodate us with a shotgun, which is nice, because we got everybody going out at the same time then.
I'm just thinking about the next 5 days to play.
Oh, you want to play more? Oh,
Yes.
it's probably only about $400 a round.
Is it $400 around? Nice. I love.
Bet it's close to that.
Wow,
What's our discount
that's
rate?
like Pebble Beach.
What's that?
Beach.
So,
Pebble of Six.
wow. I guess I won't be taking my clubs then. Okay.
Hey, Sarah, I had a question about, I know we probably haven't even discussed this, but we got transportation to get people to the Sunset Cruise.
It's kind of,
What
Yeah.
about coming back, especially with those people that might decide, oh, they're just gonna stay in that area and dine at one of those 5 local restaurants?
yeah, so we did organize it to come back at 6:30. I'm guessing we should take a poll of people that, and we could probably do this maybe Monday morning at the education session, see who wants to get picked up at 6:30, who wants to stay later. I would say maybe, excuse me, taxis, or we could just do individual transportations. But that is going to be something, yeah, because
Okay, I guess we've made arrangements for people to get back to the hotel. If people decide to stay around, I think,
They're right.
schedules may be
Because it'll be a different
difficult.
time.
It'll be very difficult to schedule. So you either take transportation back to the Four Seasons, and then you can go from there back if you want, or you just stay there and then, there's enough taxis or other transportation to get back. I don't think they Uber, do they?
No, no,
Yeah.
I don't think so. That the Uber will come right after the streetlights.
Oh, they don't have.
Do they have door?
The nice thing is most of them there's a hostess or somebody that if you need a taxi, they'll be able to get you one. Typically, like if you're gonna have dessert, maybe before dessert, ask them, hey, we're gonna be ready to leave in 20 minutes, and they should be able to call you somebody to bring you back.
What about some of the other activities like horseback riding, the Moki tours? Like, do you have any information about? I mean, I know that can be all arranged for the concierge, but what other ideas are there that people might want to consider?
So the Moke tour is really popular. It almost looks like a mini Jeep. They hold 4 people, but it's about the size of a golf cart, but it looks like a little Jeep. Anguilla is really tiny, so the Moke tour would be guide led. So they would take you around the full island. They call it their Instagram tour. So they're gonna take you to stops that you're gonna want to take photos at, so that you have them to either post online or just to have as a memory. But that's a really nice way to see the full island. You don't have to walk, and you'll get to stop at a few different places. If you're into, if you like the water, there is a water tour. They have these little motorized, they're not jet skis, they're a little bit smaller than that. They're called tiger boats. You can take them, they'll take you out to see just sort of the stuff around sandy ground, get to spend some time out on the water. There are 2 islands off of sandy ground you can go to. There's bars and restaurants. I take that. There is a bar and a restaurant on each of them. So you kind of go out there, you get to eat. There's lounge chairs. You could spend the day there and come back. There are also walking tours, and then the horseback riding is a very unique experience. The woman that owns the place, she loves these horses, and there's very specific requirements, weight requirements. They can only go out on for so many hours of the day. So if that is something you want to do, I encourage you to look into it. It wasn't really going to be a good group activity for us, just based on the size that can go out. But for anybody that likes horseback riding, that's definitely going to be something to look at.
I got a quick question.
Yeah, Bob.
The morning of the fishing trip, 7 a.m., 6:45 a.m., is there a place on the resort to get a quick bagel or a sandwich or something to eat prior to going out on the trip?
So there is at the Sunset Lounge, there is a small little, it's not its own designated coffee shop, but they do serve pastries and bagels. Let me double check what time they open. If not, let me see what our options are. If not, in-room dining is 24 hours. So that's always an option, but let me look in to see what time that little area opens up for you.
Thank you.
Hey, Sarah, I think maybe it'd be a good idea if we decide in advance who my bodyguard committee is, so it doesn't fall like squarely on Keith, Bob, and John. You know, it's a tough gig watching out for me, so we might want to start to figure that out now.
We'll take volunteers. Just let us know.
All right, so if there's no more questions, if for any reason you have to make any itinerary changes to your travel, please let Sarah know. I mean, there's only one flight a day pretty much out of all these airports and each airline to get there. But if there's any changes, if you let us know, then we can also then coordinate that with the destination management company that's going to do the pickups and the transportation. Joe, I know you asked about open invoices. If anybody has, there's a few people that have not paid yet for that extra transportation that Disca arranged to get from St. Martin over to Anguilla. If you could please take care of that directly with Sarah. I think she sent everybody an invoice the other day again as a reminder. Any unsigned waivers, I don't think there's anybody on this call that hasn't done that. And then if you need to text Sarah, her cell phone number is 215-47, I'll give you a minute, 215-479-2811. That will also, if you text her, she can give you access to our chat group on WhatsApp, which if you haven't looked at the other brochure was sent to you, WhatsApp is a way where we be able to communicate with everybody online, whether you have an international cell phone plan or not. There's no charge for it. So, each day Sarah will probably send out a group announcement that, oh, by the way, guys, we're all meeting tomorrow morning for breakfast at 8 a.m. We're going to have our, a couple hours before the welcome reception. This is going to happen, etc. So it's just going to be a way for us to be able to communicate with everybody. So if you want to be on that network or that group, please contact her with your cell phone number. Anything else, Sarah?
I don't think so. I think that, all the open items that we have covered.
Okay,
Thank you, Sarah.
that is great. You did a great
Thank
job. Sarah. Thank you very much. I know you spent a lot of time in the, getting all the details finalized for this, so we all appreciate it, and we know this will go as smoothly as it has in the past.
Yes. I'm gonna stop.
Great job, Sarah.